So we talked in the last video about the character creation, push mechanic, but there are more things that should be adapted to be able to play Forbidden Lands in an easier way. Because when we stop thinking about this topic, the skill checks, they are not the most difficult thing to handle, right? I believe that one of the most difficult things is the combat. Because if you have several characters, there are so many actions that you can perform. The creatures also in the battlefield, they also have their own actions, and the damage type, armor rolls, and so on. And I was trying to think in a way that I could simplify this, because definitely I would say that this is the most difficult part to play Forbidden Lands. And it's not so simple as I was thinking. And let me share. I start thinking about having player-facing roles instead of a role for the creature, a role for me, for the characters and so on, because this is basically what Matt K suggested in the solo rules for the Walking Dead. Walking Dead has a great combat system, in my opinion, because it's simple, it's effective, it's fast, it's brutal. But there is a big but here. Basically, we fight against other human beings, and that's it. If we face the dead, the Walking Dead, we have a specific mechanic for that. But other characters, other NPCs or human characters, in the end, we can solve with this. And in Forbidden Lands, we have basically two types of enemies, I would say. One is other humanoid creatures, and we could try to follow this approach here, but we have also creatures. They are not humanoids, and they have special rules, such as the Abyss War. And let me try to explain a little bit how the player-facing rules works. And if we go to the Year Zero mini rule set, it is also a player-facing role. So basically what you do, you define, I would say, some kind of number of success that you need to achieve to be able to cause some harm to the enemy. And you can basically say it's just one success, like simple creatures, or maybe they are a little bit more stronger, so 2 successes. And you just roll your die and you need to beat that number. Okay, what The Walking Dead makes better, and I should have kept this open, there is this table here first that we decide, okay, what is the difficulty. So if it is a standard or training character, just 1 success is required to cause damage, expert 2, and master 3. Okay, this we can try to abstract this into Forbidden Lands, and we will go to this, we will check this. But then we have this table here, the player facing roles in duels. Okay, but we can just try to understand. If you fail, meaning that you have no success, the opponent causes damage to you. And actually, there is damage every time. It doesn't matter if it's the opponent, if it's you, if both, but we will always have damage, right? So this is the first thing that we need to think. So the first result here, you fail to get success, so the opponent deals damage to you. If you have at least 1 success, but less than required or fewer than required, both deal their own weapon damage. And this is one thing that we need to address also, weapon damage. And let's have a look on it. If you get the required number of success, only you deal damage. Okay, And if you get more successes than required, only you do damage, and each extra success adds +1 damage. This is very simple. So let's say that we have an opponent that has success. The amount of success that I need is 2. I need to roll my dice pool. Let's say I'm a fighter. I have, I do not know, 4 of strength. And as I am a fighter, my concept fits really well here, +2 dice. I could say that maybe I have a sword. And then I will talk about weapons also. And let's say, yeah, I have 1 due to my asset. I do not know what my asset is, but let's just add this. And then I roll my dice. And in this case, I didn't have any kind of success, but I can push. So let's push. And now, okay, I have this situation here where I have 1 success. Great. So I'm able to cause damage, my weapon damage. Let's say it's a sword, so it caused the sword damage. But I was supposed to get 2 successes and I only got 1. So I suffer damage as well from my opponent. And in addition to it, I have this situation that I need to solve that I'm still trying to decide, but I would say that I need to pick at least one of these 2. So I could say I have maybe some damage in my sword while I was fighting. Maybe the weapons clashed and my sword broke, meaning that in the next time I will roll just 1 die. Or I could say, okay, maybe I'm tired, the enemy is too fast, and I will suffer 1 harm because I was rolling strength, so I could suffer a harm due to this check. So, and I would get 1 willpower point. So this is what would happen. Very simple and fast. I know that I suffer damage, I cause damage, and so on. I can reduce the damage from the strength, and that's it. For humanoids, it seems to be really simple. However, if we go to creatures, they have their own attacks. So usually we roll a d6 to see what they do. And it might be the case, for instance, this attack here says that I need to roll a move roll to avoid this damage here. So I was thinking in the end that I could have also, similarly to Walking Dead, have 2 combat types. One against humanoids, where I just roll by myself and read the results. And another one could be against creatures. So let's get this young, warm creature here. And I still use my fighter with 4 strength. And, actually, before that. But how do I assess a creature? I was trying to consider one thing here. We have armor, right? Armor rating. And creatures, they have a variety of armor ratings. We have the Abyss Worm with 10 armor rating. We have this Bloodling with 6 armor rating. Demons in general, they can vary also on the amount of armor rating that they have. A Death Knight depends on the armor that it is using. Dragon has a 12 armor rating, and we have the Drake Worm with 8, and so on, and with 6. So I was trying to create some kind of rule that could convert the armor rating to the amount of success that I need to hit the creature, because armor is basically the amount of dice that I roll, and every success reduces damage. So I wouldn't roll armor rating all the attacks because it would make that combat slow. So I was thinking that maybe every armor rating from 0 to 4 means 1 success is required. From 5 to 9, 2 successes. And 10 or more, 3 successes. And I think it would work really well. But when I talk about armor rating, I could also have armor in my character, right? So in the end, should I roll dice also if I take damage regarding my armor ratings, meaning that I would roll to attack, and then I would roll for the creature's attack. Then if I take damage, I roll armor. I don't like it. So in order to create a single rule that could merge armor and even weapons, I thought, okay, I could try to think three things: light, medium, and heavy. Light weapon, light armor; medium weapon, medium armor; heavy weapons, and heavy armor. And they add dice, gear dice to your pool. Meaning, if I have a fighter with 4 strength and 2 due to the concept that is a fighter, I could have, like, let's say a sword, a medium. For some reason, we will need to figure out which one is medium and which one is light and so on. But I would say a medium weapon that adds 2 more dice to it. And armor is not so cheap. It's not so cheap in this game. So I could say that I have a leather armor, a studded leather armor. It doesn't matter in the end because both would be considered light armor. So I would add everything here. Everything. I would armor and weapon would be basically gear dice. Then if I roll it now, it doesn't matter if I roll a 1, let's say, in a gear dice, because I could interpret this as my armor got broke, was damaged, or my weapon was damaged. It doesn't matter. So I would roll armor and I would bring armor here. So here I have the Abyss Worm, and it has armor rating 4, the younger. The young version has armor rating 4. It would mean that I would just need to have 1 success. But if it is an old worm, it would be armor rate 10. So it would be way tougher because I would go from 1 to 3 successes. And then I can just use this table here, right? So let's say I would like, and let me put this here, I would like to fight against a young Abyss Worm. And also we need to consider that this creature are not supposed to be fight alone. You should have at least 3 or 4 other players fighting against these kind of creatures. So they should be tough. But let's see, because although it's 1 success, it has a strength 14. Meaning that I need to cause 14 damage. And then if I apply this rule, let's say once again, 4 strength, 2 from my concept, I have a leather armor, a studded leather armor, and I have a medium weapon. Now let me roll, and I would roll first, or I could roll initiative, or I could say I always start with the characters first, unless they are surprised, and then the creature or the opponents, and then we do like this. So let's roll, and in this case, once again, just no success, and I have already I will probably have a damage in my armor or in my weapon. So let's roll again. I will push this now, and okay, 1 success only, but 1 success was exactly what I needed. So I could now see these 2. I would say, okay, I would prefer to take damage instead. For some reason I said maybe the creature fight back, so I was able to cause my medium weapon damage that would be exactly the same as the amount of the dice. For instance, light weapons have 1 dice bonus, and cause 1 damage. And for medium, 2 dice, 2 damage. Heavy, 3 dice and 3 damage. And I think it works, right? So in this case, I would cause 1 point of damage, and I would suffer the consequence from the push mechanic. And next round, but after my action, the creature should act. And then this is the complicated part, because If it is just a humanoid, I would roll and see the table, and that's it. But against a creature, I need to roll to see what the creature does. And let me roll a die for it. And in this case, a 4. It's a devouring attack, so it will try to swallow me. So what I need to do, I need to try to move. I need to roll a move roll. Move roll is agility roll, and let's say since maybe I have 3 agility, and since I'm a fighter, I would say it could be just 1 due to my concept, and I still have my armor, so I could put armor here just because it's a defensive action, right? So I'm trying to defend myself against this creature, and I would roll it. And in this case, I don't have a success, so I would suffer. And it says here 10 points, not 10 points, but I need to roll 10 dice because this is the damage. And I roll everything, and every success would be some kind of damage to me. And in this case, I don't get any damage.
Just a note that I just thought about this while I was editing this video. One thing that I could also do is, instead of rolling the damage, like 10 dice in this example, I could also try to take the armor rating or even the damage actually and try to define a specific number. In this example, I could say if I get the same armor rating approach, I could say from um, 1 to 4 dice, it's 1 damage. Um, 5 to 9, it's 2 damage. And then in this case, 10 or more, it would be 3 points of damage. I think it would also simplify a lot the way that this combat could be resolved in the end.
Okay, is it simple? Is it okay? What do you think? So I have been thinking about this, and I think, okay, now it would be the fighter. Okay, so the fighter attacked, um, the beast worm tried to swallow me. Actually, it did. If I read the description here, it says that I'm now inside of the beast, but I didn't take damage, at least in this first bite, right? So now I'm inside the creature, and it says now that from inside I can inflict actually 4 points of damage when I attack. Actually, one, sorry, no, it doesn't have armor, but if I inflict 4 points of damage, I am able to hex my way out of this beast. So yeah, I can try actually to continue this fight and see, but this is what I have in my mind. And what I'm also thinking is that maybe if I start doing like this table here and try to change, because in this case I'm changing the rules for combat to make it simpler, and I think I would need to write this down somewhere, like a try to compile this information into one single source, and yeah, and I'm going to test this more, and I just want to make this short video to share this idea with you guys, and get feedback from you also about this. Are you interested on it? I am. This is the reason that I'm doing it, and I would like to create, and I was almost going to start like a small adventure. I just printed my character sheets here. I will create 4 characters, and I will play Forbidden Lands, the setting. I'm also trying to see how I could use these to generate characters. It gives us like some skills, but I think it would give us different concepts in the end, instead of just getting a general talent and a kin and a profession. If we roll like this, for instance, we have home region, and then it would define our kin. But then in the childhood, it says, oh, you're a vagabond or a laborer. It depends. So you could be a guardian, a wanderer. So you see here, we already have a lot of different names, and we can use this. I think it would bring some, it would create unique characters in the end. So loner, bookworm, yeah. So these tables are great, and we can just use the words. We don't we can't just forget about the skills, or we could just try to think, okay, mind born. Okay, mind born. What does it mean? It means endurance. It means crafting, scouting, survival. Okay, so I'm a mind born. So I think it's cool. And yeah, and then we have also the formative events. For instance, for the hunter, it says hunted a beast, guide. This is more like background, but I think that we could use this also to bring more flavor to the concept. And I want to create, as I said, 4 characters. Maybe using these as an inspiration, I would roll randomly to have them, and I will bring my map and try to play and see what happens. Yeah, that's it. So combat, this is one thing. I do not know if it would work perfectly, but I think this is a good approach. Try to just create light weapons, medium weapons, heavy weapons. Same for armors, and try to use the armor rating to define the difficulty level that we need to achieve. Any other ideas? If you have any ideas, please share in the comments. And that's it. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.